they thought, all right, he was weak, but he was the most powerful demon. Hey, look, why they unlock that boy like that? Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we are back with another reaction. And y'all see what we got here. Hold on, let me get the name of this one before we start. Look, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna let y'all do that. But look, when they try to count you out, they don't really know, all right, what you are willing to unleash, okay? You know what I'm saying? You see me in your Call of Duty lobby, I'm chilling. Second you turn your mic on, we pub stumping, okay? Back when I used to be good at Call of Duty. Let's get into this.
Realms in this world.
Hey, see me in Among Us though, all right? Get crazy, I'm winning all the matches.
Heaven, human, and the boundary realm. These realms exist due to something called the spirit aura. In order to keep the balance, this aura must circulate among the three realms. Those who collect the spirit aura are men from the boundary realm, called the Black and White Warriors. And this is where our story begins. Two black and white warrior children are wielding their weapons against a beast in the middle of the night. The white-haired child, called Heibai, gets caught in the monster's claws. Just then, an alarm clock rings and a black-haired child, called Chowhee, wakes up and hurries to Chaobai's room, who we discover is her sister. The children run quickly towards a large castle to clock in for
out of all the ones Annie Cap done recapped that I seen, I like this animation the best.
Work. Inside we find Master Yama, who is the two children's boss. He's a little annoyed that the kids are late but asks for an update regarding their tasks. Chaobai responds that they have yet to finish their tasks, which of course angers Master Yama. He drives them out of the castle and demands that they go back to work. The siblings board the ship to the human realm where they meet other black and white warriors. The ship takes them to the human realm, where we see a child in a dark alley getting beaten up by multiple men who are trying to squeeze money out of him. This child has superhuman strength and takes out the very last man standing in his way. As soon as he does, Chaobai and Chowhee arrive and immediately notice this child is possessed with a wandering spirit. The warrior children take their weapons out but are slightly alarmed at the power of the spirit before them. They opt for Plan B, which is to take a defensive and an almost escapist approach to fighting, and tire out their opponent. They actually run away from the—
But wasn't he getting jumped? Y'all only see my man getting the elbows put on him? He was defending himself.
Fight and try to seek help from the spirit hunt team, but the wandering spirit catches up to them. The two are then taken away by an unknown force in the spirit, who is now the beast from earlier, which follows them to a nearby rooftop. Chaobai gets clawed, but Chowhee catches her before she falls to the ground. The monster gears up to attack the kids, but another warrior blocks the attack and helps the kids fight the beast. The wandering spirit eventually gets defeated, and the woman who helped them flees without a trace. Bai Long, who is a powerful spirit hunter, locks in on more wandering spirits escaping from a sealed area. Him and his team scramble to strengthen the seals and inform the palaces and other realms at once. Meanwhile, Chaobai and Chowhee get scolded by Master Yama for not being able to defeat the wandering spirit. He threatens to fire them, but the two aren't even listening to his sermons. Suddenly, Zhang Kui, a 10-hell general, arrives at Master Yama's place. It is revealed that he's the kid's caretaker, and even goes so far as to jokingly ask Master Yama if they can stay at his house for the time being. As Yama's secretary, called Sha, gives another task to the children, Zhang reports that the seal of Tianchai will break soon. We then cut back to the human realm again, and the kids watch over a cartoonist as he works on a manga. As it turns out, the children are there to escort this man's soul to the boundary realm, but need to make his death an accident. While looking for flower pots to drop on his head, they spot the man getting into a cab and quickly follow him.
Bro, that gotta be the worst Death Note entry ever. Dying by a pot falling on your head, you're done. Alright, you're done.
Meanwhile, under the sea the seal starts to break. The children follow the guy as he tries submitting his finished manga to a publisher. Dressed as a homeless person, Chowhee tries to keep him in place as Chaobai looks for a flower pot. The man gives the boy money, but Chowhee refuses, saying that it won't even buy him a meal. The man gives him a sandwich instead, and leaves him just as Chaobai comes back to tell her brother she can't find any flower pots in the office building. The man's manga isn't accepted by the editor for a multitude of reasons, but the man stands up for himself and his story. The editor gives him hell until he leaves the building deflated. We discover that Chowhee had possessed the editor in order to get the man to commit suicide.
Yo, look, listen. This is how people will block your opportunities in life. All right, my man literally possessed my man's. He had to fire manga. All right, and just so he can say like, nah, you can't put that out, big fella. And I'm gonna need you to control all the. It's L-Mans, bruh. L-Mans.
On the roof, he contemplates the past 10 years of his life. As he does, he spots his friend whom he thought was into him romantically with another man. Looking all lovey-dovey, we see that this is actually Chow Hei's doing in an attempt to get him to die, and Chow Bai questions her brother's integrity, saying his ideals shouldn't have to be attacked like this. The children watch as the guy jumps to his death, but Chow Hai remembers the sandwich that the guy gave him.
See, it's the one. It's always them, bruh. It's always them. The ones you be trying to look out for, they just here to sabotage, brother. You're done. You're done.
Him earlier, and suddenly feels guilty. The kids swoop down and
Everyone's
save
good,
the
my
guy
boy.
from dying.
Corey
The guy
Kitchen
wakes up
edits in the
unharmed
building.
and sees his
What's
unpossessed
good?
editor run towards him and offer him a publishing deal. The guy is
I
saved,
think I'll be seeing your clips. You know what I'm saying? When you be posting them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Big W.
and the kids start crying because they saved the man instead of killing him, which is the exact opposite of their mission. Meanwhile, Bai Long and his team estimate that they have less than 3 days left until the seal breaks completely. In a vast field, a man with white hair starts training with a robot. After practically destroying the robot, he is greeted by Lushu, the woman who saved Chow Bai and Chow Hai from the wandering spirit. The guy reminds Lushu to train after spirit hunters are being mobilized because of the spirit seal. A messenger comes running to the pair and tells them that they need to go to the White Mountain where the Great Seal is located, immediately on a reconnaissance mission. Meanwhile, Chow Hai finds himself in an unfamiliar place and remembers what happened, realizing that he has been taken away from his sister by a spirit monster. Elsewhere, Zhang scolds Chow Bai for making trouble. Chow Bai tearfully explains that they were only trying to help an old man fulfill his last wish.
Bro, rubbing your eyes with still Minkas. It's crazy.
But a monster suddenly attacked them. A guard reveals that the seal might break at any time now, and Zhang goes on to order that more people should be sent down there. Bai Long comforts the little girl and tells her that the spirit hunters have been deployed. Meanwhile, Chow Hai tries to come up with a plan to escape but finds himself at a loss, when suddenly, an image of Chow Bai appears before him and asks why he left her alone. He runs to her but the image suddenly fades away. Meanwhile, Bai Long explains to Chow Bai that the seal of Tianchai actually holds the 100 ghost spirit. Around 1,000 years ago, Master Zhang sealed 99 of the most violent ghosts there, and the spirit monster had been gathering the ghosts that leaked from the seal, and mistook Chow Hai as one of the spirits. Just as Bai Long finishes his monologue, the seal gets broken. The water below starts to glow red before exploding, releasing immense energy to the world. Somewhere else, Chow Hai reflects on his life with Chow Bai, when suddenly he hears a whistle coming from somewhere. He runs towards the sound, stopping in front of a large statue, and asks if there's anyone who can hear him. Just then, a man on top of the statue laughs at his plight. With the seal broken, spirits are free to escape into the human realm. The spirit hunters work hard to stop them, but a large monster spirit
Directed
emerges
traffic,
from the
boy.
seal and confronts Zhang and his crew. They immediately realize that this is the 100
Bro, back to the lobby, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I see that pop up. We're going back to the lobby.
ghost spirit.
No cap.
Meanwhile, Chow Hai is busy with his own enemy. This guy taunts him and immediately puts restraints on poor Chow Hai. The guy reveals to Chow Hai that he is imprisoned inside the seal, and now he's stuck down there with other vicious spirits. Back outside, Zhang and the 100 ghost spirit reunited before getting into a fight. However, Zhang easily defeats the spirit with his spit, and then orders for the Jinko cannon to be prepared soon. Bai Long asks if he's sure since the cannon is really strong,
crazy.
and Zhang responds that bombing the place to the ground is better than having Chow Hai turn into a monster like the 100 ghosts. Back down, Chow Hai breaks out of his restraints easily. He watches as the spirits get absorbed by the guy antagonizing him, completely unaware that a monster is behind him. Back on the
Tough.
ship, Zhang says that he'll rescue Chow Hai. Lushu appears
I'ma
and
look up
Zhang
the name
entrusts
when we
Chow Bai
done.
with her care, before instructing Bai Long to launch the Jinko cannon and destroy the Great Seal if he's not back in 1 hour. Zhang jumps into the seal to find Chow Hai. Chow Hai easily defeats the monster sneaking up behind him. He is attacked by the man, who finally introduces himself as San Wuzi. He seems to know Chow Hai personally, even calling him by his real name, Wang Heng, which of course shocks the boy. Wuzi continues to attack Chow Hai, even
Shocks
getting
the
a
boy.
spirit to wrap itself on the boy's body. Chow Hai breaks free and in the process absorbs the spirit in his body. With spirits escaping at an alarming rate, Zhang goes straight for the seal's opening but is stopped by enemies who want
Just like Shang-Chi a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They had the little seal with the... Not the same. You know what I'm saying? But
revenge.
the seal concept, crazy.
Back down, Chow Hai keeps absorbing spirits into his body. Wuzi watches the whole thing unfold, while stating that Chow Hai needs to eat more spirits to get strong and join his team once more. Chow Hai suddenly implodes and transforms into a grown man. Zhang then warns his enemies. Meanwhile, Bai Long watches as another strange spirit appears in their meter, and they suspect it to be Chow Hai. Bai is confused because initially, her brother doesn't have any spiritual power. Lu Shu wonders if something happened inside the seal for him to gain power quickly, and deduces that He must be the 100th ghost.
See, I was gonna say that, bro. I was gonna say that, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to jump to conclusions. You're done, big fella.
He greets He, now calling him Wang Heng, and starts attacking him. The pair battle it out, but He, or Wang Heng, succeeds in incapacitating Wu Zi. The intensity of their battle reaches the outskirts of the seal, where Zhang is currently located. He immediately knows that the ghost aura of He, which is Wang Heng, has been released. Zhang finally defeats the people trying to stop him from getting into the seal and goes on his merry way. Back down, Wu Zi wants a round 2 with Wang Heng, but his words strike a chord in Wang Heng's memories. Wang Heng remembers a younger Bai, asking him not to leave her alone. This momentary pause gives Wu Zi an opening and tries to swallow Wang Heng. However, the latter keeps getting flashbacks of his past human life with Bai. On the ship, the signal meter is heavily damaged, rendering them almost useless in monitoring the seal. Once the screen returns to normal, Bai Long sees glimpses of Wang Heng about to be feasted on by Wu Zi. Back down, Zhang appears just in time and confronts Wu Zi. The latter admits to eating Wang Heng, which makes Zhang angry. However, the energy Wu Zi gained from Wang Heng gives him incredible power, and he manages to stop Zhang with ease. Up on the ship, Bai Long and the crew see all of this happen and try to hide it from Bai, but it's too late. Back inside the seal, Zhang is fuming and threatens Wu Zi. Wu Zi taunts Zhang, which was an incredibly bad move on his part, and Zhang unleashes his full power on Wu Zi. In a flashback, a younger Wang Heng is revealed to be a prince living in a palace. The queen is approached by one of her maids, saying that there are rumors going around about the princess being possessed by a fox spirit, and that she needs to be killed. The queen is instructing
Here the cycle begins.
Wang Heng to take care of his sister, when a messenger runs in and reports that courtiers have come to protest the princess's existence. Somewhere in the dark plains of Wu Zi's stomach, He the child warrior, Wang Heng the grown man's spirit, and the Prince Wang Heng meet. Back on the ship, Bai learns of her brother's disappearance. In Wu Zi's stomach, the prince remembers his sword training. It appears that the prince and princess have gone into hiding after the world had become too turbulent for them to stay in the palace. Meanwhile, the Jinko cannon has been prepared. Lu Shu makes Bai understand that Wang Heng was a brutal spirit who killed many humans. The spirit hunters couldn't defeat him, so the boundary realm erased his memories and kept him in prison. Lu Shu lies to Bai to make her believe that He is not her brother. More memories of He start popping up, and in this one, the prince and princess are almost killed by someone they trusted. Suddenly, the fox spirit that lives inside the princess appears and defeats the men. In another flashback, the prince and princess are still in hiding.
She's really
Bai, whose name as a princess is Wan, refuses the steamed bun her brother offers her. He then gives her a pretty toy that resembles a flower, and Wan refuses to play with it still. However, she eyes the toy and suggests to He to visit the old autumn festival in the hopes of getting food for them. She takes the toy and thanks He as he leaves. Suddenly, the fox spirit comes out of the princess and is confronted by Lu Shu and another warrior. Meanwhile, He gets mooncakes for his sister but overhears a couple of village folk saying that the princess of the past dynasty was captured and will now be tortured. He hurries and sees Wan in the middle of the palace grounds. The fox spirit refuses to leave her body, and the spirit hunters have no choice but to leave and let the palace guards kill the princess. He watches as his sister is torn to bits, and in the end, He is also killed by the people. Lu Shu's subordinates run to the 6th palace when they encounter Yao Renju.
That's tough.
Another 10 Hell general, Lu Shu's subordinate, called Lei, introduces himself to Yao Ren properly, but Yao Ren draws his weapon on the guy in an attempt to intimidate him. The other subordinate tells him that there's an emergency at White Mountain, and that they are to request instructions from Master Zhu, master of the 6th palace. Another 10 Hell general, called Siku Tong, tries to turn them both away, but Lei pushes back. Dong Ting, the strongest of the 10 Hell generals, intervenes before a fight breaks out. Dong Ting is accompanied by Fu Fu, another 10 Hell general. The 10 Hell generals send Lei back on his way. Meanwhile, Xiaoyi can't believe that he's only been used by the spirit hunters as a tool to seal Wang Heng. Back on the ship, Bai can only watch as more spirits escape the seal. Lu Shu and Bai Long prepare to use the cannon. Xiaoyi remembers his past life while being taunted by Wang Heng. Outside, Zhang continues to battle Wu Zi. The seal gets wider and Lu Shu instructs Bai Long to launch the cannon. Heibai pleads with Lushu to wait just a little more, which earns her a slap from the spirit hunter. Lushu essentially says that their safety and the human realm is more important than waiting for Zhang and Chaoyi. Frustrated, Heibai jumps in, much to Lushu's surprise. Back somewhere in Wu Zi's stomach, Chaoyi tries to land a punch on Wang Heng but is dodged every single time. Chaoyi seems to be transported to another plane, still refusing to acknowledge that this is the end for him. Back outside, Zhang succeeds in wounding Wu Zi. Before he can finish him off, he is ripped apart from the inside. Zhang watches in horror as Wu Zi seems to be eaten by another entity behind a smoke cloud. Then from behind the smoke, Wang Heng emerges, and this brings the anime to an end. Don't forget to like.
I seen somebody dressed like him, bruh. When I went to MomoCon. That's crazy. That's
Like
tough.
and subscribe if you enjoy.
I was wondering. I was like, where? But I haven't seen it before. But there you go.
And turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video.
All right, look. This is a banger. All right. Let me add this to the watch list. No cap. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you, look. I don't know how to pronounce this. It will be in the title. You know what I'm saying, for the people watching the playback, people in the stream. That look. But this one was a banger, all right? And the fact that the 3 parts of him came to, look, listen, story fire. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Until the next time I see y'all. Peace.
Who said we ain't bout it? Test the gang and you'll get touched. She ride it, Kawasaki, roll my blunts and keep it quiet. Money is the motive, so we keep it on our mind. You get put in the stretcher, yellow tape, so please don't try.